Welcome, guys. Today I have a very special episode for you where I'm going to combine the most famous Pawn Star show in History Channel. I'm sure most of you guys would have seen this shop telecasted someday or the other, which is based out of Las Vegas. And what we are going to do today is going to be a special comic book episode on Pawn Stars. Essentially, the kind of comics that has come to the shop over the years and how the negotiation has gone from there on, right? It will give you a sense of the expectations and the reality in terms of the value of comics, where one of the most important factors will be the grade. These are some of the important and most expensive comics in the world, especially Action Comics #1 as well as the Detective Comics #27, which is the first appearance of Batman. The grading, for example, the CGC grade 8 is shown here, plays a very role in this negotiation. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have a comic which is a Mad magazine, and using this I'm going to show you the process how the seller comes up with a price and how the negotiation happened. For example, this came in for $2,500, which is the Mad comic book #1, which is in the form of a magazine because there was high scrutiny on comic books at that time and they decided to publish as a magazine. And Mad is of course a spoof of all the comics which are out there. It's pretty brilliant. So the expert comes in, he reviews the book and looks at it very closely, looks for the condition issues if there are any, and then finally puts across a grade which he is comfortable with, right? And basis that grade is when the final price is given by him. And for example, this is a 6.5 to 7 grade, and from $2,500, once the grading is decided, it suddenly drops, right? So the bidding price or the agreed upon price was $1,300 finally. Let's go into number 2. This is a very special comic book which will ring a bell with all Marvel fans. It's the Spider-Man first appearance, Amazing Fantasy. Of course, Spider-Man, the character which was from Stan Lee, published in 1962 for 12 cents. The bidding price was $16,000. Obviously, this is not as good as a condition as the highest sold one, and because of the condition, the price came down in a steep way after the expert had a look, right? From 16,000, they offered a price of around $7,000, but still it's a substantial price when you compare the 12 cents which is original price. So number 3 is a fan favorite issue of mine. It combines two of my favorite heroes, one from the real world, other from the superhero world, which is of course Superman and Muhammad Ali. This was an epic comic. This was at a time when Muhammad Ali was at the top of his game, and they published this comic in which there's a fight that happens between Superman and Muhammad Ali. And interestingly enough, Superman is the loser here. Simply because this was fought in a world where Superman didn't have his superpowers, right? Again, the expert came in, weighed into the comic, looked at its condition, and offered a $135 value price from the $350 which was the quoted price earlier. Next up is number 4. By the way, I'm going to give you links of all this in my description. This one was the first appearance of Avengers as a team and the X-Men as a team. Really two brilliant issues. The X-Men, as we know, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, etc. featuring in this. And Avengers didn't have Captain America in this, interestingly enough, although it had Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, etc. And of course you could see Loki as well. And the starting price was $5,800, but the offer price was a bit lower than that, right? X-Men was not even considered because they didn't think it was valuable enough to go for a bid. So the price offered was 3200 for Avengers, which is become super important a copy after the movie release and how big it is currently. Let's move into number 5. Next, this was signed by Stan Lee in 91. It features, of course, Kingpin and Spider-Man part, right? So Stan Lee usually doesn't draw; he's the writer and creator, and he bought in saying that this is something special because he made Stan Lee draw Spider-Man out, and this was in 2 years, both 91 and 92, and that's one of the most famous signature of all times, which you see right there. I simply love the way he signs them. So of course we know Stan Lee was the co-creator of Spider-Man, X-Men, the Hulk, Iron Man, almost the entire big superheroes of the Marvel universe came as part of his creation, and that's the reason why he is such a legend in the world of comic books. So the seller wanted to package all this together. The Amazing Fantasy you see there, by the way, is only a replica, it's not the original, but it was of course signed by Stan Lee, which was the USP, and the sketches, and then again the another Spider-Man issue, which is the first issue, again signed by Stan the Man Lee. So that was the entire package which this guy bought in. So you could right away see the Stan Lee signature there in that Amazing Fantasy book, and of course the Marvel Tales which stars Spider-Man issue. The quote was around $500, as you could see, for the whole bunch of stuff that this guy bought in. Mind you, Pawn Stars offers a price after considering a margin with which they can sell. So if you want to sell something directly and want to gain all the margin, it's better that you sell it directly rather than going and taking it to their shop, because they would definitely need to consider their margin, and they will give you only a price lower than that. Another example where signatures was the main deal was again the Star Wars comic, which had some great signatures from the Lucasfilm cast, and that's the reason why the asking price of course was around $3,000, right? You could see the signatures right away there. It's not just because of the comic issue that the price goes up. Next up we have number 6. Of course this is one of my favorites. It's the Amazing Spider-Man original artwork by John Romita, and of course signed both by John Romita and Stan Lee. And the interesting part was this was also a very steamy kind of scene in which Mary Jane is calling up Spider-Man and speaking to him, which usually you don't see with a Spider-Man comic. In that way, this was kind of like a standout, and that's the reason why the pawn shop got very interested in it, right? And John Romita, for those of you guys know, is known for his work on the Amazing Spider-Man, which was one of the most popular series at that time, and combining both these giants in the comic book industry was of course the USP for this comic strip. So the interesting part is also that the original artwork, obviously it fetches premium as compared to the comics which comes out in bulk, because these are unique pieces, not get printed in bulk. So if you are a fan and if you are a collector, this is one thing which you should definitely keep an eye out for. Getting anything original, one piece by an artist or a writer signed off, is going to fetch you a very high value in the market. Although $10,000 was the asking price, it was much less which they signed off on. Number 7, we have the Hulk, another very interesting character, and the reason why this was interesting because it had number 1 to 7 issues of the Hulk, right? And of course this issue signed by Stan Lee, the number 1 first appearance of Hulk in a grey form, by the way, is the most valuable comic of the lot. Interestingly enough, Hulk has changed color multiple times. Now you could see him in green, red, orange, all different kind of colors, and so the asking price was around $40,000, right, for the entire set of 1 to 7. Obviously it came down, and then the discussion went from 20,000, but still such a great price for such a great find. Next on, we move to number 8, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1, signed by Kevin Eastman, who was one of the co-creators of this legendary comic, and of course this is one of the most popular toy figure line of all times, right? And you could see all the favorite characters there. The negotiation went from $60,000 to $8,000, a steep drop there. Next up, number 9, and we are almost at the end. This one is a Moby Dick, and it's not the superhero comic here, it's a classic comic, but obviously it's from original from 1942, and Classic Illustrateds was another famous collection part which many people collect over the years, and the bidding price was around $600, and after the expert came in and did a grading and checked up the condition of the copy, it finally went up around $375, which is still a great price. And the last one we have number 10, and this is something special. This is not an individual comic book or a signed copy or an artwork. It is an entire comic collection, and the Library of Congress has the biggest collection of all comics out there. So this collection came in, which had a bunch of 7 long boxes, and it was quoted at $2,000 with Chumlee, and it had a bunch of comics from the Golden Age, a set of ones from the Silver Age. I really was excited to see this when it featured on the show, and Chum offered to pay the person $500 for this entire range. The unfortunate part for Pawn Stars was this was one where after looking at the entire 7 boxes, only few comics were going to fetch a higher price, right? So thanks for watching. I hope you like this top 10 list of Pawn Star comics. Do subscribe, and I will have something really special for you guys when I see you next time. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.